Hey y'all, welcome back to Bourbon on the Brain, and today we got something a little bit special. This is our review number 5, and we're going to be taking a look at the Legent Bourbon. So, if you don't know, this one's a really cool one. So, this is actually a collaboration between Jim Beam and if I remember correctly, it is Shinji, and I can't pronounce the last name, but a very famous Japanese whiskey distiller. And this one's really cool. So I really like this. It is Kentucky straight bourbon, finished in both sherry and red wine casks. And this is really cool. So if you're a fan of Japanese whiskey, then you really like this because it's got all the typical bourbon tasting notes, but with a little bit of a Japanese style to it. So I'll go ahead and read the tasting notes for you. So the nose is well-rounded, wine scents, creating a smooth and fruity character. And it would be described as both cherry and citrus on the nose, with a little bit of wild berry and grape jelly, with a little bit of leather and oak. So the palate, you're gonna get some barrel char and a little bit of caramelized sugar, as well as some lemon meringue and sweet citrus. There's a little bit of a peppery spice that you get on the back. And on the finish, you're gonna get a pretty long overall finish with a little bit of that tannin taste that you get with wine. It's gonna be a little bit leathery and oaky and with some strong berry and caramel notes. So, as many of you know, but for those of you that don't, Jim Beam is owned in collaboration with Sundari Enterprises, which is a Japanese company. And so pretty much as soon as Jim Beam was bought, they put together this collaboration. So this is in one part Fred No, and another part, I'm gonna try and pronounce his name, and I apologize if I mess this up. Give me 1 second, let me find it. Shinji Fukuyo. Again, apologies if I butchered that name, but it's a collaboration between the two of them, both very famous whiskey distillers from their respective areas. So this does have a very beautiful nose. It's not overpowering at all. Very pleasant. Yeah, so you get a lot of that very sweet wood taste. So what I would kind of imagine almost exactly like a bourbon finished in a red wine barrel. You get like a very sweet wood with some of that burning cinnamon and some of that grape feel to it. It is a fairly long burn. I can feel it in my chest right here. It is very enjoyable. Now, since I've got this bottle, I got this at about $40. It is skyrocketed in price. They're going in at about $60, $80 a bottle. And there's even, I think it's a 15-year or a 14-year that's going in the $200, $300, $400 range. Fantastic bourbon. Really recommend trying to get your hands on it. It's got a beautiful design, really nicely made bottle. It's got some Japanese style bottle design influences on it, hand blown glass, really elegant label. It is a very nice bourbon. I definitely recommend trying to get your hands on it. The one thing that I will say about it is that when you start to look at the price that it's climbing to now in that $60 to $80 range, it runs itself out of the budget for me because I'd much rather spend that money on other bottles transparently. That being said, it is a really cool bottle to have in the collection. Once I finish it, I am gonna fill it with salt like I do my other bottles and really just enjoy the style of bottle because it is a little bit unique in the American whiskey and bourbon industry. But overall, it's a fantastic bottle. I was able to get mine at my local liquor store. Again, in that $40 range, I really would recommend trying to get your hands on it. It does have some of that Jim Beam typical, Booker's, a little bit of high proof feel to it, but it doesn't taste high proof. It just kind of burns in your chest high proof, and even as I'm talking, I can still feel it in my chest a little bit, which to me, I enjoy. But that's one of the really great parts about bourbon is that everybody kind of has their own feeling about what is their own flavor profile. So this does come in at a 94 proof, so not particularly high. but just high enough that it packs a little bit of a punch. So definitely give it a try if you want. And yeah, that's going to be our Legent Bourbon review number 5. So as always, enjoy, drink safely, and we'll catch you next time.